everybody, SSA here, aka Super Suna Arashi, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you the draft analysis for the BBL Season 2. Now, yes, we will be part of another Wi-Fi Draft League this year, and this league is a little bit different than the PMC League because this league revolves around Uber, or the Uber meta, if you may call it like that. So, I was invited for this league, and it really, got me interested because I have no experience in the Wi-Fi Draft Leagues revolving around Uber. I have no experience in the Uber meta. So I stepped into this with, broadening my horizon, trying out something new, step out of my comfort zone a little bit. And we're just going to try to have fun in this league, try to, see if I can, make myself work in the Uber meta, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be a new experience. Don't have high expectation of me. I don't have really high expectation for myself to get far in this league. But hopefully I can bring out entertaining matches for you guys, the best out of my commentary skills, and just make sure that this league, it's going to be a new learning experience, and at the end of this league I can take that experience with me in the following draft leagues I will be part in later on this year or next year or whatever. So I went into the draft with a mindset of like, okay, I want to use Pokemon in the Uber meta that I really wanted to use in combination with Pokemon that I have used before, so that even though I have zero experience, I can still go into this league with, some leverage from past draft league experience, and that we can still, go into the matches with a little bit of a positive note, like, okay, it's like 50% something I don't know with 50% that I do know, so hopefully that will work out well for us in this league. So when I started out with the draft, I really wanted this mon because this is one of my favorite legendaries, and this was finally the time that I can use it, and that is Lugia with 22 points. So Lugia is our first Uber, and the reason that I wanted Lugia was just because it was my favorite legendary, and I probably won't get a time or moment that I can use a Pokemon like this in Draft League format. So I was like, okay, we're gonna choose Lugia, and then we're going to, try to draft a team around it, and then try to draft Pokemon that I'm familiar with, that can work well with this. And we're just going to try out a lot, and I'm really happy that we got Lugia. It's flying, psychic type, very defensively. This season we're going for a bit more of a defensive team, which is also a bit out of my comfort zone, but everything I can try to get experience with and help me out a lot in the future, that's everything. This is basically a league for me where I can maybe step a little bit out of the comfort zone and try something out new in terms of Pokemon, but also in terms of battle tactics, team building, and whatever. And I think Lugia is a perfect mon to try and work that around with. Yes. Next up, another Ubers mon, and to explain this, as you can see, it's a point-based draft system with tiers and everything. So it's kind of similar to the PMC, only with points, and you can have one Uber of so many points or two Ubers of that many points. It's a lot to explain in one video, and I want this draft analysis video to be allowed 25 minutes or so. So next up, a mon that works pretty well for my taste with Lugia is Topalele. Now, I haven't used Topalele in the past. I've used Tapu Koko, I've used Tapu Fini, I've used Tapu Bulu. I've never got a chance to use Topalele, and Topalele with the Psychic Terrain actually works well with the Lugia. So I was like, okay, we have Lugia, let's draft another Ubersmon that works well with it, and then we can build a team around that, and hopefully do some amazing stuff in this league with the team that I have. And I think Topalele is going to be absolutely fun to use. I've seen so many people use Topalele before, and sometimes, Topalele is banned in some leagues, sometimes Topalele is approved in some leagues. So the moments that I saw people using Topalele, it actually put in a lot of work. It's not, the most overhyped Uber, it's not the most strongest Uber out there, but I think Topalele with Lugia, those can actually maybe, get a, team started where I'm much more comfortable with using because, you know, with the mons that I've drafted following up. So next up, a Pokemon that I'm really, by the way, really out of my comfort zone is Mega Sableye. Now, I've said it in the past, I'm not the type of guy that likes to play stall. I'm not the kind of guy that likes defensive mon. And I know with the prankster ability that regular Sableye has and Magic Bounce that the regular Sableye has prankster, stall, and keen eye, I believe, and Mega Sableye has Magic Bounce. Now I know regular Sableye when used because I believe that you don't have to Mega Evolve the first thing. You know, Psychic Terrain and prankster, that kind of doesn't work together, but with the Psychic Terrain up and, you know, with already having 2 Psychic types in my team, I thought Mega Sableye would be a great asset to my team, you know, because, you know, Ghost Dark type, it really helps out a lot. And again, I really want to step out of my comfort zone for a little bit and try to also use mons I've never used before or I'm not feeling comfortable with, just to, you know, get around with that and learn new styles of battling in terms of League Draft format. And Mega Sableye works pretty well with that. And with that, we're actually getting a very bulky team already with Lugia and the Mega Sableye here. So yeah, there is not much more I can say about mons that I haven't used before, only that I'm very, you know, excited to use them. And who knows, maybe we can actually surprise a little bit. I like to surprise people in terms of League Draft format. I've used that method in the past, and hopefully this season we will surprise, because people have no expectation for me in this draft league. I don't have myself, so we're just going to try to surprise a lot of people. Next up, we're going to go again with Metagross. Yes, Metagross is... You know, I should probably change my team to Groningen Metagross at this point, because Metagross, again, it's again in our team. It's an amazing mon. You can put an Assault Vest on it. You can put like a Sugar Berry on it. You can put a Weakness Policy on it. You can put a Choice Band on it, a Life Orb on it. It can work so many different. Yes, it's not the fastest mon, but who needs speed when you can hit like a truck like Metagross? And you know, I've been using it in the IBA, I've been using it in the PMC, and now we're also going to use it in this Uber League. And again, I'm 100% certain that Metagross will get some kills this season. And yes, another Psychic type. Our team is a little bit Team Psychic at the moment, but Metagross with the Steel typing, of course, it's going to take lives this season. And I'm so happy that we can, you know, use Metagross again. You know, this year and end of last year, it's been nothing but Metagross for me. And Metagross is such an amazing mon that I'm so very happy that I can use it again. And if it was up to me, every league I will be in right now, I will pick Metagross if I get the opportunity for that, even if I have to pick it round 1, which I did in the PMC. And a lot of people were, you know, surprised by that, but that is how much faith and how much, you know, positive I am about this mon in Draft League format. It's amazing, and it's probably now my favorite mon to use in Draft League format. So nothing to say about that. Let's move on to another mon I'm familiar with in League Draft format, and that is my man Druddigon. Now Druddigon I've of course used in the IBA, and I've used a very offensive Druddigon in that league. This league I need to see if a defensive Druddigon is better than the offensive Druddigon. We can go both ways. We can even go, you know, halfway through the middle and make a defensive Druddigon that can still hit hard. Druddigon also one of my favorite Draft League Pokemon to use in the Draft League format. Hit being able to, you know, have 3 amazing abilities in Draft League format. One being, of course, Sheer Force to hit hard. One being Rough Skin to, you know, inflict some damage on the opponent's side while still, you know, manifesting yourself as a defensive mon. And Mold Breaker so that your opponent's abilities doesn't stand a chance against this amazing Dragon type in Draft League format. Druddigon is here, and with that we got our, you know, Steel Dragon Fairy Core with Topalele, Metagross, and Druddigon. And I forgot to mention that both Topalele and Metagross are my C captains for this season. Those are going to be the C captains of this season for the Groningen Noctowls. So, you know, a lot of people will probably expect Psyche MZ or Fairy MZ or Steely MZ. So people know what they'll expect from Metagross and Topalele. But again, I love Metagross, and you know, it's time that Metagross is a C captain in my team. So with Radagon, we have an amazing core right there. And our next mon is Superior. Now, Superior is an amazing Draft League mon as well. I haven't used Superior. I believe I might forget a league where I may have used Superior. But you know, contrary Superior, Leaf Storm, you can put a choice specs on it, you can put a choice scarf on it, you can work a bit around with the defensive side on it. It gets glare, it gets defog by the way, so it can also, you know, work as a cleric in Draft League format to get rid of the stealth rocks or toxic spikes or anything. Superior is just an amazing mon to use in Draft League format. It's like what Infernape is for fire types. That is Superior in terms of starter types in Draft League format for grass types. You know, you can't go wrong with Superior as a grass type, and it hits like a truck if needed, but it can also work around well, you know, to set up a glare, to set up a defog, to get rid of some hazards on your side of the field. It gets, on the top of my head, I don't think it gets like Sludge Bomb or something, but it does amazing damage, and with Contrary it can even, you know, stack up on the damage. And you know, looking at my team, you know, we already had the Steel Psychic, Steel Fairy Dragon Core, so now I need to work around with my Grass Water Fire Core. Now we have Superior, and next up we have Torkoal. Now this is quite questionable, you know, a lot of good fire types were already gone, and I was looking at my options for a fire type, and you know, with the point system, and I don't want, you know, I had other mons that I really wanted, so I was looking at Torkoal and I was like, alright, with Torkoal we get another Pokemon that can set up the Stealth Rocks. We have a lot of those already right now. Again, I am going for a little bit more of the defensive side this time in this league, so Torkoal fits that as well. Torkoal gets Rapid Spin if I'm not mistaken, so it can get rid of the hazards on my side of the field as well. And it can hit hard if used right in League Draft format, so I was like, let's pick Torkoal. It's going to be something new. This is like every draft I have like a mon where I'm not really satisfied with the draft itself, but I'm going to try the best with it in the league, and hopefully it can surprise me, and at the end of the season I can be like, you know what, I was not very positive at the beginning of this season for this mon. Now I'm a bit more positive. So hopefully Torkoal can be that Pokemon, you know, like in the PMC, like in the IBA I drafted Rotom, and I was not very happy with that, and at the end of the season I was still not happy with that. Whereas with a mon like Metagross, I was not very sure how that was going to go in the IBA, and at the end of that season I absolutely love Metagross. And maybe Torkoal can do that as well. And again, we needed a fire type because I really wanted a grass, fire, water core besides my steel, fairy, dragon core. So Torkoal is here. Hopefully it can do some work. We have the drought there. It's not going to do that much because, you know, we have a steel type right there. We have a grass type right there. But, you know, it can maybe work out very well with this team. So next up, we have Hitmonlee. Yes, I'm bringing Hitmonlee also back to this team. Hitmonlee, I need a good fighting type, and you know, Hitmonlee fits that perfectly well. Hitmonlee, you know, was an amazing input for us in the IBA, where we, you know, traded off Lugia for Hitmonlee, and Hitmonlee did absolutely amazing in that last part of the season. And you know, you can go around very well. Again, another rapid spin user now, and we have like, you can go a lot with Hitmonlee. It's one of the best Hitmons. It has like access to a lot of variety moves, like it can get Poison Jab, if I'm not mistaken. It gets Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Blaze Kick, which I'm very fun. It's very fun using Blaze Kick Hitmonlee because you can get a crit, and if you work it around well with Unburden and maybe White Herb, it can absolutely do a lot of damage. And you know, it gets like extra speed on top of that. So, and we really needed some more speed on this team. So Unburden Hitmonlee actually works very well. We have a very slow team this season, so very slow, very defensively. It's actually very outside of my comfort zone. So, you know, drafting mons like Metagross, drafting mons like Dragon, Hitmonlee, you know, it gives me a lot more, you know, comfortable going into this season with a bit more of mons that I'm familiar knowing. So Hitmonlee is here, nothing more to say about it, to be honest. It hits hard, it can, you know, do a lot with speed, and there we go. Next up, we have Tentacruel. Yes, we are going to draft Tentacruel. Again, a Rapid Spin user. Rapid Spin users back to back here. Also the potential to put up the Toxic Spikes. Again, I think Tentacruel is speedy in comparison to a lot of my other mons. And, you know, a good poison type to have in the team is always very good. And Tentacruel I've used before, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe was it in the WSS? Or was it in a, you know, a bit of a smaller league? I've used Tentacruel before, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't really remember. But Tentacruel, you know, it's a good mon to have as a cleric. You can use it, again, very defensively, but you can also run an offensive Tentacruel. You know, it gets a lot of coverage moves, and, you know, I saw Tentacruel and, you know, I was like, okay, Superior Torkoal. You know what, let's put Tentacruel there as well. A bit of a ground type weakness right now on my team with Tentacruel, Torkoal, and Metagross. And that can, you know, potentially hurt my team in the long run. But we have some coverage there with Lugia, and we have also some coverage with the Superior. And, you know, Metagross, we can actually make it a bit more bulky, so it can actually tank some hits. So, Tentacruel is here. Amazing water type, amazing poison type. Again, a rapid spin user, so we have a little bit coverage there. We can put up the hazards. We have a lot of hazard setters in my team. And of course, with magic bounce on the Sableye, we have like something that can actually, you know, put the hazards on the other side of the field if needed. So, you know, I was looking at my team, and I think Tentacruel works really well with it. And we're going to go to our next pick, which is Gligar. Now that actually helps us out a lot with the ground type weakness. Plus, I've used Gliscor in the IBA. Was not really a big fan halfway through that season. But with Gligar, we can put an Eviolite on there, another Defog user, I think another Stealth Rock user, and just another good defensive mon in our team that can work around well. And, you know, I like Gligar more than Gliscor design-wise, so maybe, you know, Gligar will actually, you know, surprise me a lot in this draft league. But there's nothing more to say about Gligar. It can, you know, put an Eviolite on it, Stealth Rocks, you can put Defog on it, Earthquake, Acrobatics, you can, you know, maybe, you know, work around with that as well. I think it gets Acrobatics. So, that is Gligar. A very nice asset to my team. Again, it works really well with a lot of the Pokemon that I have, with Metagross and with Tentacruel and Torkoal, so that it has a little bit more, you know, coverage in terms of weaknesses of my team that I already have. If I look at my team, you know, Earthquake or Earthquake ground type is very, you know, much of a problem. We have an Ice type weakness, but, you know, there aren't that much good ice types out there. There are always ice types out there, but we have stuff to work around with that as well. You know, electric type weakness, we have that covered, to be honest, for the most part. So Gligar is a huge asset for my team. The last one, however, is just because I want to have a little gimmicky mon out there that can maybe surprise me. You know, in the PMC, we have Murkrow. In this league, we have Furret. Now, I was looking at my team and I'm like, you know what? This team misses a normal type. So I was like 1 point left. So I was looking at the 1 point tier list,
And I was like, okay, which one can I use? And then I saw Furret, and I was like, okay, Furret. So I searched up some stuff about Furret, like his move pool, his stats, his abilities. Ability-wise, not much you can go with Furret, so that was out of the question. But move pool-wise and stat-wise, I think I can actually make Furret work at some point. Now, Furret is, of course, as I said before, it's a gimmicky one. I've drafted because I had 1 point left, and I wanted a normal type. So I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun, and let's bring Furret to the team. And, you know, Furret, I don't know, it can surprise. If I bring it a lot, I don't know yet. Maybe I will. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to see Furret a lot in this league. Because, hey, if you guys want to see Furret, I might have to bring Furret a few times. Because, you know, I'm a man of my words. I love to entertain you guys. I love to, you know, bring entertaining battles. And maybe with Furret, we can actually, you know, make that work. But that is the draft analysis for the Groningen Noctowls for Season 2 of the BBL. So looking at my team right now with the Lugia, the Topalele, which is a C captain, the Mega Sableye, the Metagross, which is also a C captain, the Groningen, the Superior, the Torkoal, the Hitmonlee, the Tentacruel, the Gligar, and the Furret, you know, it's like 50%, yeah, 40-50% like mons I'm used to, like the Metagross, the Groningen, the Hitmonlee, and also a lot of mons that I haven't used before, and a mons that I really wanted to use, like Lugia and Topalele. And you know, I don't know. I know people don't have high expectations for this team because, you know, it's not like something you would draft in a Ubers league. But I'm here to have fun. I'm here to, you know, try to surprise. I'm here to, you know, learn more, and that is what we're going to do this season in this league, which is going to be, yeah, I think I can surprise a bit with this team, and if not, hey, at least we've learned something out of it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this draft analysis for the BBL Season 2. If you do, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share this video with others, slash the subscribe button down below, and hit that bell icon, because then you get notified every time I upload a new video. Of course, if everything is ready, I will put all of the coaches' links in the description below, as well as to the BBL Discord, the BBL Twitter, BBL YouTube, if those is available, and everything else. So be sure to check out all of the coaches in the description below. And yeah, I don't have on the top of my head when week 1 will be uploaded. I will, you know, try to put that on my Twitter, so be sure to follow me on Twitter for every latest updates on that. But I'm going to end this video right here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and let's try to do our best for the Groningen Noctowls this season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time. Bye bye!